Hi, I'm Caitlynn McDaniel with Gaiety on the black carpet to celebrate one of our favorite Addams family members, Wednesday. The series stars Jenna Ortega, so stay tuned. We're going to talk to cast, guests tonight. It's going to be a great time, so keep watching.
I'm Jamie McShane. I play Sheriff Galpin.
Wonderful. And I wanted to ask, people love the Addams family. It's this eclectic family. They're just so strange, but they have that lovable quality. What do you think brings people back to this family? Why it keeps coming back with revivals and reboots?
I just think the quirkiness and the love between them and the weird fun, Yeah.
I absolutely love that. The weird fun. That definitely sums up, and I think that will show in the series. What are you excited for people that are big fans of the Addams family to see in this revival especially?
Jenna Ortega. She's phenomenal. The rest of the cast is wonderful, and just Tim Burton's take on it.
And what did you want to bring to this role? What was your big contribution? How did you think it played out on screen?
What my contribution actually is on screen, I don't know. What I tried to do is just bring reality and the gravitas and the world weariness of a guy who's been through it all, and then dealing with this stuff and still bring a little levity to it.
And what are you excited for tonight?
Everything. I'm a cast in a Tim Burton movie. A TV show. It's phenomenal.
So Larissa and Wednesday, it starts off and it's a very conventional situation of teacher and student. And then things slowly become a lot more complicated because, of course, Wednesday is the child of Larissa Weems's roommate, Morticia Addams, where she's had an extraordinarily tense and complicated relationship where Larissa Weems has always ended up being in the shadow and second best. And then she thinks maybe somehow she can forge a relationship with Wednesday and she can reform her, and maybe Morticia will always be eternally grateful for her. But Wednesday Addams is much more than Larissa Weems ever could have imagined. And so on her hand, she has her biggest challenge yet. And she is forced to confront everything she thinks about herself, her students, relationships, what love means. And the relationship becomes a lot more complicated and questioning than either of them could ever have thought.
The series really emphasizes that otherness that we love about the Addams family. So what does that really mean to you?
I don't know. It's kind of my favorite thing about the Addams family, that they're so different from your normal everyday people.
Absolutely. And the cast has such a diverse aspect to it as well, and people can really see themselves in the characters. Does that resonate to you as well?
Pugsley's more emotional than most of the Addams family, so I feel like he's more relatable during emotional scenes.
And I'm sure there's going to be some fun tricks and twists to this. I know you can't give any spoilers, but what are you excited for people to see when they see this?
I'm most excited. There's a scene because Wednesday is trying to uncover the secret behind her parents' thing. What happened in Nevermore with their parents. There's a scene where I really push her to do something. It's a very emotional scene. And I'm most excited for them to see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty much, yeah.
I understand. I'm excited for everyone to see it as well. Real quick, can you just tell me about a favorite moment that you had on set with everyone?
I'm trying to think of a way to say this without giving out spoilers. There's a scene where I'm falling out of something, and I have something in my mouth, and I remember behind the scenes I shot and it flew out of my mouth onto the camera. It was really funny.
I hope we get to see bloopers one day. That sounds great. What is really going through your mind right now?
I can't even describe. I don't even know. Trust me, I'm like a combination of emotion, of crying, of laughing, of anger. I don't know. It's everything at the same time.
And your role is very interesting in this series, so I'd love to just have you talk about how you got involved and what it looks like on a day-to-day when you were filming this.
The whole process was very hard. Thing was created from scratch. We did everything we could to to get to the point where thing was expressing emotion by hand gestures, which are not body language or stuff like that. We just improvised and we just tried to make it natural. Yeah.
It was really wonderful to see it all come together. And I wanted to ask, I mean, people really love the Addams Family. It's transcended time. It's done so many reboots and revisions. What do you think people admire about it? What is so amazing about seeing this family and how they survive and live?
These shows specifically will get your expectations to the max. Like fans of Addams Family, I think they won't have this much expectations from this show because it's a Netflix one, so it's not a classic. But believe me, it's gonna go over that because the whole Addams Family universe is here. Like Christina Ricci is here. Jenna Ortega did Wednesday incredibly good. Tim Burton is with us, and it can't go wrong, you know.
I'm so excited to chat with you about this show. Can you just tell me about what your thoughts were when you first got asked to be in this?
I didn't really have any thoughts. It was more of just screaming. I couldn't say no to it. It's not something you can say no. It's Tim Burton and the Addams Family, and I just had to be a part of it.
Absolutely. And what about the Addams Family do you think keeps bringing people back? I mean, it's been brought back so many times, but we love seeing it every step of the way.
I think because they're not your typical nuclear family, but they're kind of the standard of love, like Gomez and Morticia's relationship. Even though they're weird, you want what they have. So I feel like that draws a lot of people in.
And I'd love for you to talk just a little bit about your character and her relationship, obviously, with Jenna Ortega as well.
I think they teach a lot to each other. I think they really are what each other needed, because Enid was kind of a loner and Wednesday as well, and they really needed each other, and they teach each other really important lessons, and yeah, they have a beautiful friendship.
And I love your character, but if you could play anyone else in the series, who do you think you would choose?
I have to say Rowan, because he has telekinesis, and I love telekinesis, so I'm going to say Rowan.
It's so difficult. There's so many amazing powers and
it's so
abilities
hard.
in this. What are you most excited to see fans react to when they see this?
The monster. I really want to see people's reaction because it's scary, in my opinion.
Oh, you know what? It feels surreal. You know, it's crazy. You work on a show and then it's sort of like an unspoken thing between you and everybody that did it. And then it's a cool experience when you just get to release it to the world, you know, and let everybody sort of fall in love with this story and these characters. It's exciting.
Can you walk me through how you first got involved in this, from then till now?
Yeah, so I got an email saying that it was going to be Wednesday Addams goes to boarding school and Tim Burton is going to direct. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, wow, I got to be in this. I got to try my hardest to be in this. It was the first I heard about it, yeah.
I mean, what happened next? I mean, what was your next steps into going?
I did a tape. I did a self-tape, and I did another tape, and then I had a screen test with Tim and Emma, who plays Enid. And I was very panicky before because I was like, what am I going to do when Tim Burton pops up on the Zoom? And there he was, and he was like, hi, Georgie. And I was like, you know my name? Yeah, that was pretty surreal.
I mean, it sounds like a surreal experience, and the show is surreal in itself. It has so much to it. It's so many tricks and twists. Can you tell me what about it you didn't expect?
You know what? I actually didn't. When I was reading it, going along, I didn't actually expect how many times you think you know a character, you think you got it figured out, and then it will just switch on its head so suddenly, you know? That was really interesting to watch. It was just the how three-dimensional these characters actually are, you know, and how much of a journey they all go through in the season.
And my last question is just really about the community that Wednesday and the Addams Family brings and this idea of otherness. Why do you think people are really drawn to this family that's so quirky?
Yeah, I feel like, especially in today, I feel like today more than ever, it's very easy to feel like an outsider. You know, there's always so much that, we're supposed to be or meant to be. And I feel like what Wednesday and the Addams Family symbolizes is that, you should embrace and accept your differences and love them, and because that's what makes people so unique. That's what makes this family so unique, and everybody loves them, so yeah.
Well, I play Kent in the show, and he's a mermaid, or a merman, as you may say. He's a siren. He sings, as all mermans do, and he swims a bit in the show, which you get to see. Yeah.
When you were first approached and you knew you were going to join this Addams Family show, but then they said merman, like, what were your thoughts?
I'm in.
I mean, what else would you say?
I would say, what is this all about? You know, the Addams Family and mermaids and things like that. When I think of mermaids, I think like Pirates of the Caribbean or like old shows like mermaid shows and stuff, and it actually made it all the more interesting.
What was your favorite part about bringing this character to life? What was the challenges?
Honestly, like just the playfulness of the character. Like he's got a really good heart, but he's an idiot, unfortunately. So I have to play that quite a lot. And Jono, who plays my twin in the show, is Davina. Also, when we were cast as sort of twins in the show, we just came up with all these ideas like relationships and stuff. That she would almost be like the Mindy and I was the Mork and stuff like that. I'd always be getting things wrong, and she would be like, you know. So yeah.
I love that so much. And my last question, just about Wednesday in the Addams Family. What do you think people are really drawn to about this character? I mean, she's so standoffish, but we all love her so much.
Maybe it's the honesty of it. Maybe people are just searching for honesty, and she just gives you it on a plate, very cold, and it might hurt your feelings a little bit, but at least you know where she stands.
I play Tyler Galpin. My real name is Hunter Doohan. But Wednesday goes to Nevermore. She meets all these kids with supernatural abilities, and then she tries to come into a coffee shop and meets a local barista, and that's me.
So I love Wednesday's character, but she's so standoffish, she's so interesting, but people are just really drawn to her. Why do you think that is?
For me, when I was playing Tyler, I think I was always so charmed by her because even though she's saying these things, I mean, she is funny and she's usually right. I think people like that she's kind of cutting through the shit.
I agree. I mean, I've asked a couple times and everyone kind of agrees it's the honesty, you know? Like, you know exactly who she is.
Oh, Wednesday says the things we all wish we could say. One, like, that we wish we could come up with them, and two, could get away with saying it.
Absolutely. I mean, and her entire family is iconic, and everyone, we've continued to do these revivals and see what this family is up to. Why do you think everyone is so interested in just this franchise?
I don't know what it is. I mean, it just has really stood the test of time. I think what's exciting about our show is that it's finally Wednesday front and center and the main character, and we get to see her so much more and so many more aspects of her than we've gotten to see in the past.
And I know this project has been a long time coming, and now it's finally going to be out and everyone's going to see it. What are you excited for audiences to see?
I'm just excited for audiences to go through what I went through reading the scripts for the first time. I was so excited every time we got a new one like delivered to us. So I think it's, and the audience gets to cheat. They get all 8 at once.
I would love to just talk first about your favorite part about this show.
Oh, wow.
I know, a big question to start.
My favorite part, I love the last episode when everything just wraps up and everything is just wrapped up with this perfect bow. It's very satisfying. I think that the episode 3 and 4 and the dance episode, dude, Jenna's dance moves are hypnotizing. I've probably watched that scene 50 times. Well, 2 or 3, but it's incredible. She's such a good dancer. That's probably my favorite scene, or anything with the monster. It looks so cool and so Tim Burton. It's I would have loved it as a kid. I would have had a t-shirt of it. Yeah.
And this show embraces otherness, obviously. The Addams Family are all about that, and we really play off that magical aspect. Does that resonate at all to you?
Well, I'm no magician, but I feel being a misfit or an outcast or, otherness, I feel will probably resonate with everybody, because everybody feels a little weird at times, and everyone can definitely relate to the feeling of not fitting in. And that's why we have fantasy shows like this, where it's a place where you're welcomed no matter who you are, because it's so great to watch and it's so great to escape into that world. So, yeah.
It's very hard for me to think of a lot of characters that have as much of a reach or as much of a community as Wednesday and the entirety of the Addams Family do, and let alone a Latin one. So I think to be able to put a Latin face to a family that is so loved and so respected mean a lot to a lot of people, and I'm just so excited that young Latinos finally have that representation, and I hope that they're encouraged and empowered by that.
So many people in the LGBTQ community see Wednesday Addams as a gay icon and they look up to her. Why do you think that is?
I think because she's a badass, she's cool, she's got a nice sense of style, but she's somebody who embraces her differences and isn't out to please anybody, and I feel like that's a really, really powerful thing to see, and I feel like people want to see powerful women with powerful women.